So if you know, I know y'all doing whatever y'all doing, but if we can't really sit here and have a good time,
when she say
make it fun, or make it fun, then we can't film because I ain't come here for that. I don't know what the motive is to have me here. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about what we talking about. But listen,
because you ain't listening to me. I'm the only.
Right. I'm listening to you, and I'm trying to talk.
Don't
piss Niece off.
I'm trying to like, come on. It's like, what we doing?
Listen, you always nobody don't like you.
Why?
Nobody don't like you.
When y'all get her ready, I'm gonna come back. She's bad energy, and she's all in my ear with that nasty breath.
So, Joseline Hernandez confronted Cararissa, and things got really messy. It all started when Cararissa made a rude comment about how Joseline smelled, calling her funky in front of other people. That didn't sit well with Joseline at all. She takes her name and reputation seriously, especially when it comes to personal things like hygiene. She's not the kind of person to let something like that slide. Joseline stood up for herself right away, and Cararissa quickly found out she had messed with the wrong person. What started as a shady remark turned into a full-on argument that no one expected.
And y'all gonna leave her stay right here in my face?
Y'all losing me. You got me kicked off.
In my face, she right here.
Kicked off my own show.
In my face.
I'm kicked off my own show.
Puerto Rican princess. You got the couch to yourself, baby. Come on, Joseline.
I'm not good.
I'm not going downstairs. I am not on punishment. She could go for that.
No, she can't.
Okay, no, then let her go on. I'm still
No, why
here.
don't you just go downstairs?
I'm not going downstairs.
We have a fun show.
Not gonna happen. Not
Baby,
gonna happen.
We have a fun show.
If I go downstairs, I'm going home.
Bye.
I'm not going downstairs.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Come on, let's
sit over here.
Medicine tonight. God damn, what's wrong with y'all?
I'm not gonna
This
bother
shit
you
getting
guys.
kindergarten, man. Can we get this done and
I don't want that energy there. She's gonna send out bad ways to us.
Like, God,
bad ways.
We too grown for this.
Bad ways. Right, that's why.
Respect people's boundaries.
You'd think that after all the wild stories about Jan's intense arguments, people would be more careful before talking bad about her. But nope, Cararissa went after Joseline, and Joseline didn't hold back one bit. The moment things kicked off, Joseline made it clear she wasn't there to play nice. She immediately started talking about how much more successful she is than Cararissa, mentioning her millions made through the Zeus network and how she's helping younger women make it in the industry. But that wasn't all. Joseline took it even further and dragged Carissa's personal life into the mix, even mentioning her son's legal troubles just to make things sting more. While Cararissa tried to stay calm and composed during the show, Joseline was on a mission to tear her down. She threw out insult after insult, barely taking a breath. Let's be honest, Joseline Hernandez is not someone who shies away from a fight. She's known for standing her ground, even when it's with police, and she carries that same energy into every confrontation. She's proud of her tough image and doesn't let anyone disrespect her. So, when Cararissa came at her, it was only a matter of time before things got ugly. From the moment Joseline walked into the anti-podcast studio, the vibe was tense. She came in with attitude and didn't hide her dislike for Cararissa. As the show went on, Joseline ripped into her, calling her jealous, bitter, and out of touch. She even mocked Carissa's style and called her old and washed up. A few days later, Cararissa responded on Instagram Live, claiming the podcast was edited to make her look bad and insisting the public didn't see the full story. But by then, the damage was already done.
Joseline take you out like that. So she didn't take me out, y'all. I volunteered because she was to leave if I was there. And I took one for the team, obviously, because if I would have stayed, she wasn't gonna finish the interview, which means we wasn't gonna get paid. And you know how I'm about my money. Soon as she started, I leave the set, I was like, you know what, it's not that big of a deal. I'll sit over here. So that the ladies could still get their interview and we could still get our full.
According to Cararissa, the real tension between her and Joseline didn't start the day they filmed together. It had already been building for some time. She claims that what viewers saw on camera was only one side of the story, and that Joseline came in with a plan to make her look bad. Cararissa even went as far as saying she felt completely set up. From her point of view, Joseline wasn't just being confrontational, she was being strategic, creating a moment to elevate herself while tearing Cararissa down. Cararissa didn't hold back when she later spoke out. She claimed that the moment Joseline walked into the room, there was a strong, unpleasant smell, and she didn't believe it was coming from the crew. In fact, she said at first, everyone assumed it might be one of the cameramen who hadn't showered. But as time passed, it became clear to her that the odor was actually coming from Joseline. That claim alone sent shockwaves through social media, with fans split down the middle. Some found it hard to believe, while others said they weren't surprised. She also called out Joseline for acting arrogant, like she was better than everyone else just because she's rich and has had cosmetic procedures done. Cararissa made it clear, having money doesn't mean you're above basic hygiene. She told her followers that Joseline should take care of herself before trying to drag others down. Cararissa also explained why she didn't speak up during the podcast. She said she stayed quiet to protect her income. "I know when to keep my mouth shut," she explained. "I'm not going to ruin my paycheck over Joseline's drama." According to her, Joseline's loud behavior was nothing more than an attention grab, a performance meant to stir up controversy and get people talking. But Cararissa wasn't going to stay silent forever. Once filming was done, she went on Instagram Live and let it all out. She aired her grievances and painted a very different picture of what went down. She talked about the alleged body odor, Joseline's attitude since gaining fame, and how she's been acting differently ever since she found a little success. Cararissa claimed that Joseline's fame had changed her, not in a good way. Interestingly, this wasn't the first time someone had made similar comments about Joseline. Rumors about her hygiene have followed her for years. Cararissa isn't the only one who's spoken up. Other celebrities, like Kay and Michelle, have also taken jabs at Joseline in the past. Kay and Michelle once hinted that Joseline wasn't as fresh as she pretended to be, throwing subtle shade about her cleanliness. Then there was Amber Ali, who didn't hold back at all. She once went on a full-blown rant, saying Joseline smelled like mop water. According to Amber, being in the same room as her was an unforgettable experience, and not in a good way. She even joked that someone needed to hand Joseline some soap, saying the conversation around her hygiene had become a hot topic in the industry. What makes all of this harder to dismiss is that these remarks are coming from people who've actually worked with Joseline. They've been in close proximity to her. These aren't strangers making up stories online, they're industry insiders. And when multiple people say the same thing, it naturally raises eyebrows. Fans have had a lot to say as well. Social media blew up with reactions. Some people made jokes, while others gave serious advice. One user even said, "Go to the gynecologist, Joseline. They make pills for that." Another wrote, "How many women have to say it before she does something about it?" Clearly, the comments hit a nerve, and people were eager to weigh in. And if you think Joseline is going to let all this slide, think again. Word is, she's planning to confront Cararissa in person. Knowing Joseline's history, this could get even uglier. She's not known for backing down or staying quiet. Whether on reality TV or in real life, Joseline always has to have the last word, or the last punch. If they run into each other again, it's safe to assume sparks will fly. So what's next? Well, it's almost guaranteed that Joseline is cooking up her next move. She thrives off of controversy, and she knows how to keep people talking. Cararissa might have thought she could speak her piece and move on, but if she really believed that Joseline would leave it at that, she might be in for a rude awakening. That leads to the big question, was Cararissa wrong for speaking up, or was she just defending herself? On the flip side, did Joseline go too far with her personal attacks? Or is this just her being who she's always been, loud, dramatic, and unapologetically bold? But just when it seemed like things couldn't get more dramatic, another layer of Joseline's story began to unfold, this one far more serious. In a recent interview, Joseline spoke candidly about the abuse she allegedly suffered at the hands of her fiancé, music producer Ballistic Beats. For years, they were viewed as a picture-perfect couple, showing up to events hand-in-hand, always smiling for the cameras. But behind closed doors, things were far from perfect. Joseline opened up about the emotional and physical torment she endured, describing a relationship that spiraled into darkness. What started as small arguments soon grew into a pattern of control and abuse. At first, she told herself it was just stress or tension from work. But over time, she realized that this wasn't just a rough patch, it was something far more damaging. She admitted to trying to keep it all hidden. There was pressure to maintain the illusion of happiness for the public, especially since they were often in the spotlight. The emotional toll became unbearable. Ballistic, according to Joseline, would belittle her with constant insults, criticize her appearance, and lash out over the smallest things. Eventually, the situation escalated into physical violence. Although she didn't go into explicit detail, it was clear from her interview that Joseline reached a breaking point. The fear, isolation, and emotional exhaustion pushed her to speak out, even though she knew it could change how people saw her. "I was tired of hiding," she said. "People need to know the truth." Her confession hit hard. Fans who once idolized her relationship with Ballistic were stunned. The very same couple who looked so happy on Instagram was hiding a painful secret. Joseline explained that she felt trapped, blaming herself, feeling like she couldn't tell anyone. But over time, she realized that silence only made the pain worse. Her bravery in sharing her story has sparked important conversations around abuse, trauma, and healing. She emphasized that anyone, no matter how confident or successful, can find themselves in an unhealthy relationship. And more importantly, anyone can take the steps to leave and start again. Joseline is now focusing on healing and rebuilding her life. She's speaking out not just for herself, but for others who may be in similar situations. Her story reminds people that abuse doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anyone, even someone as bold and outspoken as Joseline. By revealing her truth, she's giving strength to others. She's using her platform to raise awareness and let others know they are not alone. Her message is simple but powerful: you don't have to suffer in silence. Help is out there, and you deserve peace, safety, and happiness.